Hello everyone, welcome back to crafted for curious minds. Today, we're diving into one of the most fundamental topics in biology, prokaryotic versus eukaryotic cells. Let's start with the basics. All living things are made up of cells. But not all cells are the same. In fact, there are two major types, prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. First we will discuss about prokaryotic cell, the simple architects of life. In the beginning, about 4 billion years ago, life on Earth began with a simple cell, the prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cells are simple microscopic unicellular organisms that lack a true nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. Instead of a nucleus, prokaryotes have a nucleoid region where their circular DNA resides freely within the cytoplasm. They are among the earliest forms of life on Earth. Their size typically range from 0.1 to 5 micrometers in diameter. Most prokaryotes possess a cell wall made of peptidoglycan, providing structural support and protection. They lack membrane-bound organelles such as mitochondria, chloroplasts, and the endoplasmic reticulum. Prokaryotic ribosomes are essential molecular machines responsible for synthesizing proteins within cells. They have 70 S ribosomes, which consists of two subunits, the 30s subunit, which is the smaller subunit, and a larger subunit, the 50s subunit. A prokaryotic cell primarily reproduces asexually through binary fission, a process where the cell divides into two identical cells and thrives in various environments. Bacteria and archaea are prime examples of prokaryotic cells. Now we move on to eukaryotic cells, the complex builders of multicellular life. Eukaryotic cells are more complex and can be either unicellular or multicellular organisms. They are distinguished from prokaryotic cells by their compartmentalized structure, which allows for specialized functions within the cell. They possess a true nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. They are generally larger and their size ranges from 10 to 100 micrometers in diameter. They have a well-defined nucleus enclosed by a nuclear membrane which contains the cell's linear DNA. Some eukaryotic cells like plant cells and fungi has a cell wall made up of cellulose and chitin respectively, while animal cells do not have a cell wall. Eukaryotic cells house various membrane-bound organelles such as mitochondria for energy production, chloroplasts for photosynthesis in plants, Golgi apparatus involved in protein modification and sorting, and the endoplasmic reticulum for protein and lipid synthesis. They have a larger, 80S, ribosomes which has two subunits, the 40s smaller subunit and 60s larger subunit. Ribosomes plays a major role in protein synthesis. Eukaryotic cells divide either asexually through mitosis or sexually through meiosis. Plants, animals, fungi, and protists are examples of eukaryotic organisms. Let's see a comparative overview of prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cells are small unicellular organisms while eukaryotic cells are more complex. In a prokaryotic cell their size ranges from 1 to 10 micrometers, and in a eukaryotic cell the size ranges between 10 to 100 micrometers. Prokaryotic cells have a linear DNA which is found in the nucleoid since nucleus is absent, while a eukaryotic cell has a linear DNA present in the nucleus. Prokaryotic cells lack membrane-bound organelles while eukaryotic cells have membrane-bound organelles. Prokaryotic cells have 70 S ribosome made up of 30 S and 50 S subunit, while eukaryotes have 80 S ribosome made of 40 S and 60 S subunit. The cell wall of prokaryotic cells are made up of peptidoglycan. The cell wall of eukaryotic cells like plants and fungi are made up of cellulose and chitin respectively. Prokaryotic cells reproduce asexually through binary fission while eukaryotic cells asexually through mitosis or sexually through meiosis. The examples of prokaryotic cells are bacteria and archaea, and the examples of eukaryotic cells include plant cell, animal cell, fungi and protists. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.